Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to We Love Metal. We are on the phone with Lowe's of Gift of Destiny. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Excellent, man. Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment here to start to congratulate you on Throttle. You guys must be very happy with the response so far.
Yeah, we've gotten a great response. We couldn't ask for anything better right now.
And you've actually recorded with Larry Elia. That must have been quite an experience. I mean, he's got Disturbed, Seven Dust under him. That's pretty good quality you were working with.
Yeah, Larry, he's a master. I've never seen anybody that can mix like him, who's got the ear that he does. He's just really great to work with. You know, he's been in the Phoenix area for a long time. Like you said, he's worked with a lot of different people. A lot of people have come through Phoenix to work with him. So yeah, it's definitely always a privilege to get in and spend some time working with him.
Cool. I ask a lot of musicians, is it difficult to have somebody else tell you what you think you should sound like?
Not necessarily. It's always good to have an outsider opinion, you know, especially somebody who's heard a lot and dealt with a lot of different types of music over the years. You know, within the band, you hear things a certain way, and within your nearest circle of friends, they're going to tell you a little bit different opinion. But it's always nice to have somebody outside to express their opinions and tell you what you might want to try different, or you know, that kind of thing. It's definitely something that critiquing is never a bad thing.
Excellent. Now, is it true you guys recorded this in 5 days?
Yeah, we did. We did it in two different sessions. The first session we did just to kind of lay down a couple of tracks and see if we had what we felt was you know, a viable and entertaining product, something that people would want to listen to. And we recorded a few songs in those first 2 days, and they turned out a lot better than even we had expected. So we decided to go back in, and we spent another couple of days recording and a day with Larry mixing and adding some different stuff. And what you hear is what we did in those 5 days. We're hoping to capture a good live vibe, and we think we did that.
Well, I'll tell you what amazes me is that with the amount of styles that you guys blend together, I mean, this would take some bands months to record. You guys must be very confident in your material.
Yeah, once we get something to a point where we like it and are happy with it, you know, there's kind of no stopping us. We get it somewhere we like it. We have a few people listen to it, and if they like it too, we go with it. We try not to spend too much time over-analyzing, because if you spend too much time overwriting or over-analyzing a piece, then you start to lose the emotion and the groove with it. So we just do it until it sounds and feels right, and then we're done. It's a complete song, a complete package, and just start letting people hear it.
And that is something I'd like to compliment you guys on. You can tell through your music that you're having fun doing it, and that's a hard thing to get across, so congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, there's nothing more fun than getting up on stage and, you know, screaming your heart out and, you know, letting emotions out and entertaining people at the same time. It's entertaining for people, and it's therapeutic for us as well. So, yeah, how can you not have fun doing this?
To go back to those influences a little bit, where do you guys draw influence from? I mean, you've got everything in there. There's metal, there's thrash, there's punk. Is there any style you guys listen to, or is it just a wide range?
All four guys in the band have their own taste in music. Everything that you can possibly think of, from, you know, Johnny Cash up to Killswitch Engage and everything in between. Each one of us grew up listening to a lot of the same stuff, but also a lot of different stuff. We come from four different backgrounds, and you know, in the music, you mentioned that you know, we kind of try to blend a little bit of the old school punk sound with a little more of a newer metal sound, and you know, so you'll hear definitely a lot of influence from bands like Agent Orange and the Dead Kennedys on the punk side, but then again on the metal side, you might hear a little Pantera or a little Alice in Chains or Corrosion of Conformity. So you know, we've got a wide variety of stuff that we've all liked over the years, and we just incorporate it together as we think it sounds and feels good.
Man, anytime you can use those names in reference to your music, you're doing okay. So, something I wanted to ask you about. You guys have shared the stage with some big names, but two I wanted to pull out were Helmet and Rev Theory. The reason I bring them out is because that is two completely different fan bases.
Oh, yeah.
Does that concern you when you get up on stage? Like how you're going to bridge that gap?
To be completely honest, we're a little bit concerned almost every time we step on stage because we are so different that it is hard to categorize us. There's only certain types of bands whose fan bases are going to be welcoming to us. We can't play with really heavy death metal or black metal bands, but we can't play with straight up punk bands either because we're somewhere in between. But we look for bands like Helmet who have a strong rock base, and bands like you had mentioned Rev Theory, who also has a strong rock base. Those audiences tend to be a little more open than your strict punk audiences or your strict metal audiences. Our very first show was actually opening up for Thrash Legends DRI, so them having a similar punk metal thrash fusion sound that allowed us to get a really good response from that first show. And luckily, other fans have been willing to respond just as well, and a lot of people seem to like what we do.
Well, man, I'll tell you, listening to the album, you sit back and you think, I can take out of this whatever I want. And that's a sign of good music. When I can walk away enjoying a certain element of it, and all the blending, that's a good sign. That's a good job on your part. So,
thank you very much.
I want to ask you too. I mean, you guys have been around for a little while, but at your stage in your career, what do you measure success by? I mean, record sales aren't there anymore for anybody. So, how does a band measure success these days?
I think a good way to measure success is just by the loyalty and enthusiasm of your core fan base. If you can develop a core fan base that's going to support you, then that's what's important. I like to say that the days of the record company are over. If you're sitting around waiting for the A&R guy from the giant corporation to come notice you, that's not going to happen. You got to go out and meet people and get your name out yourself. And what we like to do as a band is we like to do all of our fan relations ourselves. When you talk to somebody on email or on Facebook or whatever the case, you're talking directly to somebody in the band. And I think that has helped us stand out. People like that direct connection. The fans like to be able to say, I talked with Los from Gifted Destiny, rather than, I talked with a webmaster that was hired to answer questions from a script or whatever.
Where does social media fit in that, Los?
I'm sorry?
Where does social media fit in that interaction with the fans these days?
Social media right now is a huge benefit to bands that are just starting out, whether they be young bands who have never done this before, or even bands like us that are put together with veteran musicians. With the introduction of things like Facebook and MySpace, it's so much easier to get that one-on-one connection with fans. Facebook makes it a little bit more difficult to get to the masses, but it still allows a word of mouth. MySpace still allows you to go out there and click on as many people as you want. And when we click on somebody for a friend request on MySpace, like I said before, that's us. It's not a bot. It's not a webmaster. And of course, you got things like Twitter and other social media that have just become huge in recent years. And I think that's more of a way to get your name out as a young band than doing things the old-fashioned way, waiting for somebody to notice you.
Well, I think personally right now that Gifted Destiny is on, there's a groundswell around you guys. So my question is, how do you capitalize on that? What's next?
Well, right now we are concentrating on promoting the release of Throttle. We actually have an official CD release show coming up here in June in Tempe, Arizona. After that, we're gonna do some further promotion of the Throttle album by doing some regional shows in the Southwest and trying to extend some shows farther out into the U.S. Depending depending on how things go and how time comes. And we're also constantly working on new material. Every time we get together, we're coming up with new riffs and new lyrics and new things to mess around with. So, like every other band, we probably have more tapes and stuff that we haven't finished yet than the stuff that we're actually finished and released. So, after the promotion of Throttle, we'll see where we go with some of the new stuff we come out with.
Where can people go to find your stuff at?
Right now, Throttle is available on cdbaby.com, both in physical form and MP3. It's also available on iTunes, and you can find it on Amazon MP3. There's also a free download right now on our website, giftedestiny.com, of Raise Some Hell, one of the songs, the first song on the album.
Excellent. Now, I'm just going to wrap up with a question that we've been asking a lot lately. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to ask it to you in a punk phrase. If you had to pick your big four of punk, who would be on that stage?
Big four of punk, like four bands, you mean?
Yeah. Yep.
My big four of punk would probably be definitely Black Flag, the Misfits, Dead Kennedys, and the Sex Pistols.
That's not a bad day in a field, is it?
I know they're all older, old school bands, but I think if you talk about four of the most influential punk bands there are, that's going to be them. And if I had to pick a fifth, I'd have to throw in the Ramones too. But if you're talking big four, those would be the four I'd list first.
Excellent. Well, I want to encourage everybody to go over and pick up Throttle from Gift of Destiny, and thank you, Lowe's, for doing this. It's great to hear from you, and you guys, I get a feeling I'm going to be hearing lots more from you in the future. So,
very much, anytime.